Thank you for considering our LeadMN scholarships. My name is Madison South, and I serve as the chair of the scholarship committee. I will be taking you through the steps and showing you tips and tricks to writing a winning scholarship for LeadMN. In this video, I will be covering only the information that is necessary for you to produce a great scholarship application. I will be walking through some background information, your leadership resume, the application submission process, and helpful tips. Please watch this video in its entirety to get the whole picture before you start the application process. LeadMN scholarships are offered in the amounts of anywhere between $500 and $5,000. You will be automatically and immediately notified of which scholarships you are eligible for once you complete the eligibility form, which I will explain in a little bit. These scholarships are made possible by our wonderful community of donors who just want to see Minnesota college students thrive and succeed in their educational and career paths. Let's begin walking through the application process. The first step to writing a winning scholarship with LeadMN is creating what's called a leadership resume. I have my example up on the screen for you to get a good idea of what this should look like. Please keep in mind that yours will look very different from mine and may be 1 or 2 pages long. Please include what you feel is important for us to know. Please also note that this is not a normal resume. This is not something similar to what you would send a potential employer. This is your way of expressing to us different leadership positions and opportunities you have had throughout your life. You'll want to start this resume with some information that every standard resume has, like your name, contact information, and maybe what school you attend or other relevant identifying information so that we can keep track of your resume. Then you will go into explaining your roles of leadership throughout your lifetime. For my example here, I've used being a leader in Girl Scouts when I was younger, up to holding a dignified leadership position in my school and in my workplace. Or you can include leadership that you have exemplified within your family, your job, or your community, such as volunteering. Get creative with relating to us the things that you have experienced. Please do not include things that do not relate to leadership. This might be things like your grade point average, taking an extremely difficult math class, or CPR certification. While those are all really excellent things, they're not entirely related to why you are a good leader. The leadership applications will also ask for 2 letters of recommendation from your peers that you may use towards your application. This can be a letter from a teacher, staff member at your school, employer, or really anyone who has had the chance to view your leadership in action. You will simply attach these during the application process. Finally, you'll want to grab an unofficial transcript from your student services page to attach to the application as well. Please make sure that it is the most current and up to date. Now we will move on to the submission process. Please note that you may use the Save and Continue Later function to come back to your application at any time. This feature is good for 30 days, and then your information will no longer be saved. If you have attached several required documents and then you go out of the application and come back in, you will need to reattach them. Your first step in the application process is to complete the eligibility form that you see here. Please answer all of the questions fully and honestly. I have sped up the process of me filling out this form for the sake of the video. These questions will sort the scholarships you are available for and give you the list of scholarships by the end. A special note on this is that there are 2 types of scholarships, the leadership scholarships and the other scholarships. The other scholarships are found on the second page after the leadership scholarships and ask for different documents, such as 1 letter of recommendation instead of 2. But you can use the same letters of recommendation for these scholarships as well. Please read the requirements very carefully for the other scholarships. Then you will fill out the questions asked as best as honestly as you can, and once you are done, hit submit. All of your hard work should soon to be paid off. So, as someone who reviews the applications, I do have some recommendation for applicants. My first recommendation is please use Grammarly or another grammar software to double check the responses you are writing. Grammarly checks not only your grammar, but the tone in your writing. Now, I'm not sponsored to say this, but Grammarly does provide some great feedback on your grammar and writing that normal word processing systems do not. If you have another favorite grammar service, I would recommend using it. Perhaps it would also be good to ask a friend, family member, or even English teacher to read your essays. Please check your leadership resume and all of the questions you will be submitting using this software. We do know a good leader when we see one, but bad grammar can be distracting in your application. My second important recommendation is to take your time with the application. Please set aside a few hours to complete this if you can. You want to make sure that your answers are fair in detail and that you get everything that you want to say across. It is recommended that you provide at least 300 words, but no more than 750 words for each question. After your application is submitted, you will hear back from us in about 4 to 5 weeks after the application deadline for whether you have been selected to receive the scholarship you have applied for. Please refer to this video if you have any questions. Otherwise, don't be afraid to reach out to our scholarship manager, Joyce Petch, for more information. Her email is up on the screen here. Good luck, and thank you for applying.